What's going on, folks? It's your man JQ right here on Talk Radio. It is Geeked Out. Like I said, I'm your man JQ. This is the returning free.
How's it going, everybody?
This is Chandler.
It's about time. It's been 2 months. I've missed every one of you.
I know, on your whirlwind world tour of California.
Right.
So it's like, so what, San Diego?
Oh, man. There's a whole bunch. I did Arizona, San Diego, all these things.
All over the world.
All over this Western Hemisphere.
Anyways, welcome back, Free.
Thank you.
We all missed you.
And you know what? I got to tell you, I miss Megan. She's not here today.
I know. She's out there
She's at the NHL. Was it the NHL
Awards?
Award.
Oh, that is today.
Yeah.
I saw the sign over it. I was driving by Mandalay earlier today.
Yeah, she was invited to I guess be a co-host or a guest or something like that of the NHL Hockey Award.
Very cool.
So,
congratulations, St. Louis Blues.
Oh yeah.
They haven't won a championship in like forever.
Finally.
It was like what, 50 years?
See, the thing is, I'm a Chicago Blackhawks fan.
Yeah.
And so we had to wait 55 years for ours.
Yeah.
So
For what? The Blackhawks?
yeah.
Well, but see, you have to understand, Chicago is just that kind of city. They like to torture their fans. Look at what they did with the Cubbies.
The Cubbies.
That
Look
is
at what
true.
they did with the Cubbies.
That is absolutely true.
You know, they tortured the fans with the Cubbies. They tortured the fans with the Blackhawks.
Right.
You know,
Before Jordan.
the Bears. You had your good seasons and stuff.
You got the 85
then you have the Pistons, not the Pistons. That's Detroit.
The Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls.
Oh,
You know. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, they like to
Yeah, they like to really
brutalize. Yeah, they like to brutalize their fans, build everything up.
Our guy Ray is a prime example of a Cubby fan that had to endure the many years of torture. Like when they won the World Series not too long ago, Ray was just in tears.
Right. He's like, finally.
They finally did it. They finally did it.
Well, at least they did it in his lifetime.
Yeah.
Because some people, you know, they'll live 55 years and they still don't get one.
Some of those stories, like after the Cubs won, some of the stories were about people that have either are really close to passing away or they've passed away. Some great stories.
Anyway.
So we are back. It's last week we talked about con season and like how to prep for cons and all that, and we had just done a couple cons. Like me and Free have done. We did the amazing Las Vegas Comic Con where we have beaten the record, the Guinness Book of World Record for a production comic book.
Yep.
Previous record was 11 hours, 38 minutes, 15 seconds, something like that. And then the record we beat it by, it was 10 hours, 55 minutes, 15 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, we beat it. So we got
congratulations to all the contributors.
Yes, definitely. Congratulations. And then you guys are watching guys who are in the, well, he was already in it. So, but I am now part of the Guinness Book of World Records.
There you go.
So.
Now, to be honest, though, I wasn't actually tabling. I wasn't actually selling anything at the convention. And the reason why is because I was actually supposed to be a Chandler over in Washington State, which Washington State Summer Con, I mean, their lineup was insane. I mean, we went from Steranko to Scott Williams to Jim Lee, all these guys. Chandler Rice was there. And just seeing your post, like I was thinking to myself, if I would have gone from my DJ gig in San Diego, I would have had to drive like 20 hours by myself to get there, do 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, and then have to drive it back by myself. So I know, right? But I mean, again, you fly, so it's a different story. You know, you get there
Well,
like
yeah,
4 hours.
but you know, at the same time, here it is. I'm doing everything I'm doing now. I'm here doing the show. From here I go to the office, and then I'm gonna hopefully, knock on wood, be able to leave the office about 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock this evening, get home, so I can get to sleep because I have to get up at 3 a.m.
Where are
to
you
go
going?
to.
I have to be at the airport at 4 for my 6 a.m. flight to New York.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
I head to New York. I'm going to be in New York tomorrow with John Romita Jr. at the Midtown Comics signing, which kicks off the sale of the Superman Year One book, which released today in the stores. So if you haven't picked up your copy yet, make sure you go down and pick it up. And at Celestial is where you will find the John Romita convention exclusive that you can pre-order.
Nice.
Books will not be shipped or available to be picked up until the 17th of July. but you can pre-order your copy. There is a limited number of copies of this cover printed, and once they're gone, they're gone. So anyway, we're really excited about this.
Really cool. So make sure you get on over to Celestial Comics. Can they get it on the website too, or do you have to go down?
If you go to desertwindenterprises.com, our corporate site, we have a web store there that you can actually go into the web store and you can purchase it, or you can pre-order it, pay for it, pre-order it there.
Oh, there you go.
And then also just information's on our Facebook page, whether it's Desert Wind or Celestial or my Facebook page, you'll find information there as well.
There you go.
Very cool.
So get on over to your local comic shop, but more importantly, get over to Celestial Comics.
Yep.
All right.
So anyway, head to New York. So I'll be with John Jr. Tomorrow and Friday, and then I actually drive down to Delaware to visit with David McElhinney on Saturday, to then drive from David's house to Philadelphia to catch my flight home.
Man, see, luckily, like East Coast, their states are smaller.
Yeah.
Because if you went from California to Texas, you're screwed.
Yeah,
But at least
that is true. As you move further west, the states get bigger and more spread apart. And I won't say just the states actually, but the cities.
That too.
You could. The thing is that you could basically, from the time you leave Baltimore and arrive in New York, you will end up passing through Baltimore, Philadelphia, and I lost count of how many cities in between that, into New Jersey, into New York. Well, in that same amount of time, that's the time it takes to drive from Las Vegas to LA. And there's nothing in between.
Right?
There's nothing
Within
in
that 3 hours
between.
span, you can be so many different places.
So,
on the East Coast.
the West Coast are 4-hour drives in between cities. The East Coast are 1-hour drives in between cities. So,
But besides that,
how
was your Washington trip?
Yeah.
Insane. 10 o'clock in the morning, doors opened up for the general public, and bam! There were people standing in front of us. Everyone wanted to get stuff signed. They wanted to get stuff graded. Roy Thomas had a line in front of him. Roy was kitty corner across from us. He was constantly busy. Behind us on one side, we had Chris Claremont. He was constantly busy. We basically, you had Chris Claremont, you had Roy Thomas, you had Jim Lee was there on Sunday. Roy was only there Saturday. You had Jay Lee, you had Scott Williams, you had Alex Sinclair, you had Ken Lashley,
Jimmy
Palmietti and Amanda Connor were there. Had a nice time chatting with them. Jim Steranko was there.
Nice.
Jim Shooter was there. You're
making me feel so bad right now. I'm like, should I have just killed my car and just drove?
It was a great lineup, and had a chance to catch up with several people. It was interesting, though, talking to Chris, because obviously with Chris, you obviously have the Dark Phoenix movie that came out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, boy, that was an interesting conversation. Chris had plenty to say about that.
All right, now I know that you wanted to talk about Dark Phoenix.
That's okay.
So
we're going to talk about it.
Let's talk about it. So what did Chris Claremont have to say about Dark Phoenix?
Well, first off, Dark Phoenix, the director of Dark Phoenix, Simon Helsberg, I think it is. Anyway, when he originally pitched the idea to Marvel, or actually more specifically to Fox, he pitched it as a 2-movie project.
Okay. That makes
Basically,
sense.
The way it was pitched was that it was the beginning of Phoenix, the development of Phoenix.
Yeah.
Her coming into her powers, learning about her powers and everything. That was supposed to be movie 1. Movie 2 was her transitioning to the Dark Phoenix character. And, if you read the Dark Phoenix saga, you have where she turns into this antagonistic character, and she ends up destroying a world. which in turn brings on the wrath of an alien race. She ends up destroying the alien race's very best warship that they had just created. None of this got portrayed in
In the movie? Ah,
You know, the unfortunately the movie did not. The movie that ended up being made, and even then, my understanding was that there were things that were meant to be shot and they never got shot. And here's where it made things more interesting: is that you had, okay, we obviously all now know that Disney bought Fox. Well, before that, Fox obviously was going to release the Dark Phoenix movie. When Disney bought Fox, it changed the dynamics of everything, because it was at that point that Disney had announced that they were going to come out with Captain Marvel, who is going to be the first female lead character in a movie. Well, problem was that Dark Phoenix originally was going to be that. So, if you look at the correlation between the characters, and if you look at, as a matter of fact, if you look at Binary, who was who basically was
Carol in the future.
Yeah, you'll see that Binary had a lot of the same skill sets, or a lot of the same powers that Dark Phoenix had. And so what ended up happening was, because of that whole buyout situation, because Disney being in control of it, and let's face it, Captain Marvel had a huge part leading into Endgame, which was Disney and Marvel's big crescendo.
Right.
They did not want anything to take away from that. So that's why you saw Dark Phoenix actually being pushed back 3 different times.
Yeah.
And they had to go back and they had to do a bunch of reshoots.
Especially for the ending.
They had to do a bunch of reshoots that changed the dynamics of a lot of the characters, especially the bad character, or I'm suddenly drawing a blank.
The 3 alien.
The aliens that were there, and these were the aliens that made mention in the book of that alien race. That, like I said, that whole dynamic got changed. So, you know, you basically had, as a result of the merger, the Dark Phoenix movie got changed in a major way.
So it went from supposed to be 2 movies to 1. Is it because the studio's like, well, we got bought out, and you know we're not going to put.
Well, no. It was decided in the beginning. It was decided that it was going to be made into 1 movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, when it was originally pitched by the
to
director, was pitched as a 2-movie project.
Gotcha.
It should have been a 2-movie.
It should have been.
It should have been a 2-movie project. Yes, and so, you know, but needless to say, Chris was very critical of that.
AKA, he was really PO'd.
Right. Like, needless to say, the architect of the X-Men universe, he would have an opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, did he have a cameo? Was Chris in a cameo?
Was he?
Oh God, I don't remember.
Oh,
I would have seen him. Well, then
I haven't
again,
seen the movie.
Okay, the answer to that is yes.
Okay.
What you saw was this.
Doing what?
Are you serious?
I don't remember that part.
Apparently you saw, I didn't even know about this till he mentioned it to me. Apparently at one point you see a shot, and what you see is you see his mouth, his beard, mustache, and everything in the background.
That's it?
Yeah.
Like, was he wearing a mask or something? Was he part of, like, something?
Have you seen the movie yet?
I haven't seen the movie.
Okay, then I'm not going to ruin it for you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've seen it, so like.
Being that you're a stickler for
the spoiler thing.
for spoilers.
But see, the thing is, I was a stickler for spoilers when it came to Endgame. Other than
Like
that,
the
it's all
major
out there.
movies, like and we were talking about this offline. We were like, if it's a major movie like Endgame, then okay, I'm going to be a little critical.
Yeah, we're going to hold off a little bit.
But to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting much out of Dark Phoenix, and you know,
well,
if you told me spoilers,
here was
I would
a lot of here was part of what was also a lot of the chatter going on online and stuff, is they were talking about the dynamics of the age of the characters. The Dark Phoenix story, age-wise, only took place like 6-7 years after the Apocalypse story.
Oh, okay.
Well, in all honesty, think about this. When X-Men First Class was created,
I was set in the late 50s, early 60s.
yes, because you basically had it close to the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, and so it was established at that point that Charles Xavier was born in the 30s. Same thing with Magneto. Same thing with Raven. Well, if they're born in the 30s, and it's now 1990 something,
They'd be 60 something
you're
years
talking
old.
60 something years old. Well, I'm sorry, but James McAvoy looked pretty damn good for a
You
60-year
look
old
great
guy.
for 75 years old.
Same thing. Now, I get Raven. Raven, okay, yeah, she's
She
a
can-
shapeshifter.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine. But Magneto and Xavier, they look like they were in their 40s.
Yeah. Okay.
And they didn't look any different than what they looked in Apocalypse, which Apocalypse would have been in the 1980s, which means they should have been 50 some odd years old. So part of the problem that exists is that you had a timeline breach that took place as a result of how Fox has gone about all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of didn't make sense. But
But in the end, what's going to happen is that they're just going to go like this.
Right.
They're going to end up in the MCU, and it's going to be fine.
Well,
I mean, we'll see
now
if
the
it's going to be
question
fine.
is how long it takes for those characters to get into the MCU, because
Yeah.
Kevin Feige has been saying it's going to be a while before he introduces
Yeah, I'm
the
thinking
X-Men or the
probably-
Fantastic Four.
yeah, I'm thinking at least one more phase before the next.
At least a
phase.
few years.
Yeah.
At least a few years.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
hearing 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe 10. Like they're gonna, like how the first phase was 10 years.
Yeah.
Whatever phase it took to Endgame was 10 years.
I don't
It might
see
be
I don't see them waiting 10 years.
You don't think so?
To put out X-Men or Fantastic Four.
within the, I guess, Marvel universe.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see, do they establish the X-Men universe outside of the Marvel universe? Do they establish the X-Men universe and then bring them in, or do they do it where it's all one big party, as I will say? Same thing with the Fantastic Four.
That is true.
I mean, I've seen, the rumors I've seen or heard were that the Eternals, which is probably coming out next year, 2021, or either the next year or the year after, the Eternals is probably going to spark something that'll, in turn, start the era of mutants. So I don't know how it's going to be done, but that's the rumor I heard.
Again,
So,
it's Marvel and it's Disney.
yeah.
For the past 10 years, they've brought us in. They know how to do it. So
So
They'll figure it
like
out.
for us to speculate, it's not going to be. I mean, we're just throwing spitballs at the wall, dude.
Right.
So at any rate,
I sure hope they don't wait 10 years, because
me neither.
that means I'm going to be in my late 60s. Ugh.
yeah,
That means I'm going to be like 27, 28.
I know, me too.
Oh, man.
Bunch of little punks.
Speaking of the MCU, I read that Kevin Feige has been in talks with one Keanu Reeves to join the MCU.
Oh,
Is he going
God.
to be
I don't know about Wolverine. I heard he might play a part in
he's too
Eternals.
tall for Wolverine?
Well, then, okay, so then here's the other thing. I've also heard, somebody asked Jason Momoa during an interview, would you like to be Wolverine? And he's like, dude, I'd love to be Wolverine.
Right?
So,
But who wouldn't?
No,
You know what I mean?
I'll tell you. What I saw an artist rendition of Jason playing Sabretooth.
That looked
he looks
great.
more like Sabretooth.
That looked
Yeah.
awesome.
Can you imagine with the fangs? And just,
Oh yeah,
just
that looked
rugged-
awesome.
Because, okay, Jason Momoa is 6'4".
Yeah.
Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman was 6'2".
So yeah, it's not that far off.
6'2"?
Yeah, he's you met him. He's a tall dude.
I didn't think he was 6'2".
He's 6'2".
I mean,
I had to
you
look it
shoot
up.
him at different angles.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so I mean, all these names that you're hearing, Keanu Reeves. Jason Momoa obviously isn't. I I'm sure that because he's got to deal with Warner Brothers, DC.
I think he's got 2 more Aquamans to do.
Yeah, I'm not putting my.
And not that he wore a shirt that says F Marvel
Oh yeah.
at San Diego Comic Con. So I don't know if they're like, yeah, you know that time that
You're right. He's 6'2". Wow, I didn't realize he was that tall.
Trust me, I did that. I did that same Google search. That's why. That's how I know these numbers. So, anyways, when we get back, guys, our top 3 topics of the top 3 topics of the day. Stick around. We are back, folks, and this is our top 3 topics of the day. Oh, that's 4.
Geeked Out top 3 topics of the day.
Topic numero uno. Thanos has control over your comic book collection. You can only take one series with you, and everything else is going with a snap. Which one is it?
Does that have to be a series or a single book?
Not series. Or if you want to do a single book, do
Because I don't really collect series.
yeah.
I collect, Later Mechanica,
Yeah.
but it's because I like the artwork
Yeah.
from Joe. But okay, so if it had to be a series, and I know that I'm gonna sound so lame to all you real comic book collectors out there, I would have to take everything that I have from Jim Lee, because half of them are signed.
Mhm.
Wait a minute.
and-
It's taken from what?
From Jim Lee's X-Men.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. You just said X-Men then.
X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Because half of them are signed. My favorite cover, number 6. No,
So
it's
you're
not.
talking about the X-Men series, not the Uncanny X-Men.
No, the X-Men series, the Jim
Okay.
Lee X-Men, the one
Okay.
that sold 8 million, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Can't tell you how many of those I saw this last week.
Well,
Between him and Chris
yeah,
being
Jim,
there.
Chris, and you had Scott Williams there.
Yeah.
didn't
Oh
you?
yeah. Oh yeah.
So-
it was crazy.
Yeah, it was
Go on.
So yeah, that's probably the one I'll do. But if it was a single book, I think I'd have to go with my Celestial Comics exclusive, my first ever San Diego comic, like the one that I did, the first San Diego Comic Con I ever did. I did an exclusive for Celestial Comics, and that one I have signed by John Romita Jr. and Len Weens and whoever was on that table that
Oh, nice.
that
Nice.
week.
Yeah.
And so that's the one I'd pretty much run out of. That and my passport. Everything else is like whatever.
And your passport.
Right, I can go to Walmart and buy new shorts and shirts.
No, we're just talking about comics.
Yeah, just comics. So yeah, I think individually, my comic would be my Celestial Comics. San Diego Comic-Con exclusive of that my first year I ever did it, and my Jim Lee signed books.
Gotcha. Chandler.
This is out of your house now.
Iron Man, you runt.
Oh. Invincible Iron Man. The whole series, huh?
Why not?
Do you have the
Just
whole
to
series?
throw it in his face.
See what I'm keeping? He can't snap right now, but I got them all.
Right?
I'm gonna gloat.
I couldn't say any one series. So
But if you had to choose, that would be the one, just so you can throw it in Thanos' face.
Man,
yeah.
Cool. I would do Uncanny X-Men,
which one? Like
the series.
the whole series?
I have a whole bunch of Uncanny
Oh.
X-Men. So like I have enough to fill up a freaking long box.
I was about to say, like, do you have every single issue?
I
That's
have.
ridiculous.
I have from 160. No. From earlier than that, early 80s, maybe late 70s, all the way up until maybe the early 90s. Not all of them, but like from
Oh, okay.
a bulk of them. I'll probably have like about 75% of those comics.
Do you have?
So you have
the
Dark Phoenix in there.
Yes.
Yeah, you have the Dark Phoenix saga.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So wait, do you have the whole series of Invincible Iron Man or whatever it was?
yeah.
Oh.
Like the Iron
You
Man.
asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking.
I don't know.
You probably do.
I mean, you have a shop.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've got so many books, it's not even funny.
I was about to say, this is from your house, not from your storage or from your
From my
business.
house. From my house.
Yeah. That's when you know you got a lot, when you actually got to
Hold
do
on.
like the air, like you're doing the beautiful mind.
I have just short of 100 long boxes of books at my house.
Well, luckily you live in Arkansas, where his house is. Not here or anywhere else, close to here, in Arkansas. So if you want to go look for his house, it's in Arkansas.
Hey, you know what? If they want to come to my house here, let them have it.
Dude,
But no, you have
They'll
to understand-
literally be eaten.
No, you have to understand. let me put it to you this way. It's simple. First off, you have to get past my 2 Rottweilers.
I mean, we're talking like 150-pound Rottweilers each.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You have to get past my 2 Rottweilers, not 1, 2. Then you have to get past. If you happen to get past them, then you have to get past me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and considering that I used to be in the law enforcement military field years
So,
ago.
he's got claymores all over the place.
So let's just say there's some hardware involved, okay?
There you go.
And then if you happen to get past me, then you're going to have to deal with a really pissed off housewife, significant other, boss lady,
The
who's
boss.
going to be armed with all my other stuff, including stuff that goes...
I mean, we're talking
So-
like
She pulls out a Gatling gun.
And she wouldn't hesitate to take a knife and stick it in your eye socket.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love Sharon, but there's a reason why they call her Dragon Lady, and with all the hardware you got, she probably look like the female version of Cable. Like, just but yeah, so, anyway.
So as I jokingly say, let them come. Now the only thing, unfortunately, knock on wood, at this point, that I miss her dearly. The only thing they wouldn't have to deal with is my killer cat Sammy, who's now
Wow.
up in keeping God safe. So
Gotcha. So, Invincible Iron Man, Uncanny X-Men, and the X-Men series.
There you go.
There you go. Topic number 2. This is a simple one. What hero would you want to come to life?
Oh,
Hero, not villain.
hero. Oh, see, now you screwed me up. Because mine would be Magneto.
Yeah.
But I'm not a mutant, so he would not care for me at all. Even though I'm over there, like, supporting him.
I know.
For me, if it has to be a hero, Superman. I mean, he's one of the strongest characters in the DC universe, and he's got that Boy Scout
Yeah.
feel to him. He's got good virtues. He's got all that good stuff.
wait till you read Superman Year One.
I know, right? But
Woo!
the original Superman, my personal would be Superman because he could protect the whole planet. He could fly as fast as Flash can run to get to this side of the world.
Depends on which race you're talking about.
Right. Depends on who's the writer. And so he could do all these different things for the human race. And it's not just centralized to just one city, like Batman.
Yeah.
He could do so much more. So that'd be mine. Superman, easy.
Cool. Chandler.
Only because, in all honesty, we could really use him right now. We could use him because we need his heart. We need his soul. We need what he stands for. I'm talking Captain America.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. That's actually, like, I was going to either go with Captain America in the Marvel Universe and Superman in the DC.
Well, you know, he doesn't have the ability to fly. He doesn't have the ability to turn invisible. He doesn't have any of a lot of the special abilities that either the X-Men have or other characters have. But what he has that I don't think any other character has is the heart and integrity that he brings every time he is around people. He is, you know, and that's why I say we could really use him right now. I hate to get political here, but our country has lost its way. We have political leaders that have completely lost their way, and what we need is we need someone to band them all back together. I don't want us to see another 9/11 event, but we saw that happen in 9/11.
So you're basically saying that it's not so much his powers, it's more his symbolism.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. You know, power-wise, the fact is that the most powerful superhero you can have is someone who can motivate people to do what they have to do.
Yep.
And I think he is probably one of the strongest motivators of them all.
Dang.
There you go. I mean,
now I feel...
like that's great, but at the same time, I'm like, Superman can do that and he can fly. You know what I mean? So, but again...
And here I am thinking, man, what could Batman do? See, I was going to choose Batman. I was going to choose Batman only because it's probably the most realistic. You know, somebody can train for years and come back and be that vigilante, and you know, and have the money to be able to do stuff that he wanted to do. So,
I mean, he can, like, in the Dark Knight and all that movie series.
Yep.
You know, it's not the what was the saying? It's not the hero that we want, it's the hero we need, or something like that. I forgot what it was. But yeah, I mean, he can still be a beacon of something good. You know, fight back. Don't let these criminals take charge. Don't let the underworld destroy your life. But then again, I mean, for me, it's like, if you don't have the trillions of dollars, then, you know, like with Captain America, at least, like in Endgame, and everybody knows this because, you know, the end scene where he straps it in.
Oh, yeah.
It's because he had a gash over there.
Yeah.
So he strapped it in. Shield was broken. He's looking at literally like 10, you know, maybe 100,000 dudes. He's like, okay, let's do this.
Yep.
And then the portal started opening up.
Yep.
You know, it was like on your left, right? But he was ready to go at it. He was ready to say, I'm going to stand here. You come through me.
Yep.
So yeah.
But see, that's
Good one, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
is
what I'm
that
saying.
he invokes that kind of tenacity, that type of
intestinal
commitment
fortitude
and intensity. So
I could do this all day.
Man, those are some great answers. I like that. Okay, topic number 3. What do you think DC needs to do to even the score with Marvel in terms of movies?
Oh my God.
Movies. Because if we talked about the whole thing, we'll be sitting here talking for a long time.
yeah.
So, movie-wise.
Movie-wise, sell to Disney. Just sell your stock to Disney.
Sell your stock to Disney.
But okay, well, honestly, I think they need to start building characters instead of just throwing them into movies. They need to build this universe that they want. Like, for example, that's the reason why Justice League got so much backlash, because
They just threw it in there.
they just threw like 5-6 characters all together, and the only ones that were really established was Superman, Batman, and then Wonder Woman.
Well,
The other two,
technically, if you look at it from a technical viewpoint, they kind of built them in a little bit in the sense that you had the Superman Batman movie that
Yeah.
Yeah.
preceded it. And if you remember, towards the end, Batman goes in and gets the files
Yeah.
Files. Yeah.
on who were these metahumans.
But again, you only get those metahumans for 10 seconds each.
Yeah.
So, oh, this
No,
person-
but I agree with you. I think, I think the way Marvel did it was they introduced each character individually. They allowed people to see where those characters came from through the origin stories. So part of what you did was you built a fan base, one character at a time.
Oh yeah.
You built a fan base around Spider-Man. You built a fan base around Captain America and Iron Man and
Thor.
and
who
Thor.
would have thought they could build a fan base around Ant-Man? Because
Yeah.
Ant-Man, they needed Ant-Man to go into like the Phantom Verse or whatever it is. Quantum Verse. So they had to make a whole movie and make it so interesting that you're like, ooh, I like this Ant-Man guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I hate to say it, but Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, Hulk, they're easy to like. They're easy to get behind.
You still haven't seen Endgame?
I have.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, they had to build Ant-Man, give him his own movie, which is brilliant.
Oh, you said Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you said Iron Man.
No, they're like Ant-Man.
Yeah. No, and again,
They did it right.
you have the characters that what they did was they took the time to take each character and create a individual universe around each character.
Yes.
And they allowed the fans to understand where these characters came from, to build that empathy towards them. Is that right? Is that
Yeah.
empathy?
Yeah.
And as a result, let's face it, by the time you brought them together for the first Avenger movie, now you have all these fans
That are converging.
that are now converging on one
Yeah.
movie, and now it's built it up
Yeah.
from there. And they were able to introduce other secondary characters from there, which what they've done is they introduced the secondary characters, which now is doing what? It's allowing them to go into what is this now new new
New
phase.
phase.
And so now you're gonna see Wanda
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Vision in their own series.
Wow.
You're gonna see Black Widow with her own
With her
origin
own, yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I think you'll see Clint is gonna have his own series as well. If
Yeah,
I'm
Hawkeye.
I
correct.
think so. Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're now taking these, what we had seen as secondary characters that were brought in to support them, now taking over the mantle and moving forward.
Not to mention in Phase 4, they're throwing in the Eternals, like I said earlier. They're throwing in Shang-Chi,
The Asian.
Master of Kung Fu. What else are they throwing in? I mean, for the most part, you're already getting a robust set of movies that are coming into Phase 4.
Yeah. Back to your question.
Yes.
Back to your question.
How can
what does
DC come up,
DC
yeah.
need to do? And I say this with a grin on my face, but they need to find a way to hire Kevin from Marvel and bring him over to DC. That's what they need to do.
Yep.
They, what it comes down to is that Marvel, and I don't know if you saw the announcement, but Marvel just hired a producer. I shouldn't say Marvel. Disney hired a producer to take over, basically act as Kevin for the Star Wars universe.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. I saw that.
And
I saw
so
that.
that's part of what DC needs to do is they need to bring in an experienced producer. Nothing against Jim Lee, nothing against Jeff Johns, nothing against those guys, but they are not experienced movie producers.
They're comic guys.
They're comic
They're
guys.
writers and they're artists.
You need to bring in an experienced movie producer who has the ability,
To
who
architect it.
understands the comic world to basically bring everything together and to run it.
Yeah.
And that's their sole purpose, is to run it. Now I know Jeff he left DC from the publishing side and has gone over to DC in their movie world.
Wow.
Is what I understand. And I'm sure that might be because that was their move they tried to make to basically give them their form of a Jeff Feige. But
Kevin Feige.
Pardon?
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige.
Kevin.
But the problem is, Jeff is not Kevin.
Yeah.
And so DC is going to have to do that. The problem there is that DC has Warner Brothers that is calling all the shots.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, Warner Brothers is an established movie house that was not built on comic book movies. You have Marvel Studios. They did not start off with, oh, we're gonna make these movies and then we're gonna start getting into comic book movies.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you have Disney, who bought Marvel with the understanding that, you know what, we are an entertainment company, yes, but they were smart enough to let Marvel Studios run its course. So, and now you have the whole thing with AT&T, which we talked about last week. The whole thing with AT&T buying Warner Brothers, and then in that case also buying DC. And I think I just saw something new with AT&T about how there's some other project or other things that they're buying into to help, I guess, bolster their entertainment division. And you know, the problem is I don't know if that's really going to be what's in the best interest of DC or DC Entertainment.
But yeah, I mean, again, getting back to like the actual movies itself, like for example, Ben Affleck did a great job as Batman, but he didn't have his own Batman movie. He was featured in like a cameo in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Right? And then he went right from there to Superman, Batman, instead of just being Batman. You know, again, they're not establishing their characters well for us to get involved.
I think it's really what it is, practicing patience.
Yes.
That's what they got to do, because you feel like, I mean, look at the Batman franchise. How many names have come across that plate?
It's like a revolving door of like 007s. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like just get one and roll with it. Like look how they established Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man for 10 years. 10 years.
Yeah.
Nobody else was even.
Even though he's not a superhero, but let's look at a case of James Bond.
Yeah.
You know, you basically had Sean Connery. Yes, there was someone that predated Sean Connery. It basically had Sean Connery as
Who predated Sean Connery? Because that's the only one I remember.
George Lazarus, I think it is.
Yeah,
Wow.
George Lazarus, the only American.
But
Wow.
you had Sean Connery, and then Sean, you know, then it was taken over by Roger Moore.
Yep.
Each
Roger
one of these
Moore.
guys played Bond for what, 10 years?
Yeah. I mean, they at least have like 5 or 6 movies under them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, those movies were well received. You now look at the Bond series, and it's kind of fallen off. And why is that? It's because they've gone from one, you know, they went from Roger Moore to, who's the guy that played Remington Steele?
Yeah, I was gonna say Remington Steele.
Yeah, Remington Steele.
Brosnan?
And then
Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, Pierce Brosnan.
Pierce Brosnan, and then from Pierce Brosnan they went to Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
No, Timothy Dalton.
Timothy Dalton.
That's
yes.
it, Timothy Dalton.
Again, he only did like 1 or 2.
Or actually, it might have been Dalton before Brosnan. I don't remember.
They were so similar in looks.
The problem
So
is
close.
you've had several different guys now
Yeah.
play the characters, and so it's kind of I think lost its you know, its identity. It's lost its identity, and I think that's a key thing is you have a character, and you build that identity with that character. And the identity is not just the character on the screen, but the identity is also the actor who plays that character.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, you saw that. Everyone thinks Wolverine, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
You know, maybe that's part of the reason why there's been so much that you haven't seen so much success with Hulk. Is that you've seen
Banner, you've seen Norton.
3 different guys play Hulk.
Yeah, you've seen
Yeah.
You've seen 3 different actors play Hulk since Hulk has been coming out. Part of that is, again, Hulk is under what company?
Is he under Fox?
Oh,
Sony?
I think it's either Sony or Paramount.
Oh,
one of the
okay.
two. Now, you kind of saw that happen with Spider-Man. And what's happened is, at the same time, Sony has allowed Spider-Man to
Go to
go
MCU.
back into the MCU.
Well, also, I think Spider-Man now, because they have a younger actor, that he can go a 10-year span and still look young.
Yeah.
You know, Tobey Maguire looked young when it first came out, but if he tried to do it now,
Nope.
nope.
You are over the hill,
Exactly.
Spider-Man.
So,
Well, but when you think about it, Tobey Maguire really is not that much older than Robert Downey Jr.
yeah, and Robert Downey Jr. is 50 years old.
Okay.
So,
But at the same time, you're also talking about a totally different character because obviously Spider-Man starts out as a teenager. You've seen the Spider-Man universe get rebooted twice already.
Yeah.
3 times.
Well, it's had 3 different
Yeah.
versions, but yeah, it's so that's what I'm saying. You've seen it rebooted twice.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, okay.
And so with that, they've kind of told the origin story. You've seen 3 different versions of the origin story. You know, and
Yeah.
so and again, I think that's part of why Marvel has been as successful as they have, is because they have been smart enough to realize what we need to do is we introduce a character and we stick with it
Yeah.
and go forward from there.
Well, on the other side of that is that you need to have an actor that is willing to commit
The 10-year
the
commitment.
10-year commitment or the 5-year commitment or the 7-year commitment, whatever.
At this
whatever it
point,
takes.
if you get into the MCU, and say for example you get Spider-Man, yeah, I'm down for 10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my agent will just keep getting me more and more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I think patience is something that DC, because they were trying to catch up already. I think they need to learn patience. I think
Yeah.
they need to learn how to develop their characters and be patient enough to let those actors and characters progress. So yeah, you're right. So
Anything else? No.
we're
I
good.
could go on for hours.
I know.
All right.
This subject could go on for hours.
That's so funny though. I brought up the topic and you guys are like, oh.
Like we literally went from here. It's like, what can DC do?
Funniest reaction ever. Anyways, that is it for our top 3 topics of the day. When we get back, we're going to close out the show. Stick around. Welcome back, folks. It is Geeked Out right here on Dovetail Radio, and that's it for our show. What do we got going on this weekend, guys?
What do we got going on this weekend?
I'm flying.
All right.
I'm
Go to the East
You know,
Coast, right?
New York, New York. I'll be
So
in
wait,
New York this weekend.
So-
I'll get back from that, and then Sharon and I head off to Dallas, Texas for the North Texas show.
Wow.
We get back from North Texas, get ready for San Diego.
Yes.
Man,
San Diego's gonna. It's right on the corner. So
literally.
But what's going on in New York, and where are you going to be at?
Could be at Midtown Comics on Thursday afternoon, starting about 6 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be there with John Romita Jr., and he will be signing copies of his new book that just came out today with Frank Miller. It's Superman Year One.
And you can get the exclusive.
You can get the John Romita Convention exclusive. You can pre-order it either by going to desertwindenterprises.com and then click on the products button, and then you can also find it under the exclusives, or you can go to Celestial and order it there.
Which is right here in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yep.
What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to be drawing at home.
Yay! See, everybody thinks in the comic industry, it's very exciting to go to the events and the Comic Cons and all that, but the work has to be done.
I was going to say you have to do the work to get to
Exactly.
the events.
And I tell this to a lot of convention table people, the people that actually do tables at convention, exhibitors. While you're at the table, you're not an artist. You're a salesman.
Yep.
Right. What you are an artist is when you're sitting at home, you're listening to a podcast or whatever while you're drawing for 6 hours. That's when the work gets done, so that you can go to the cons.
Yep.
Right.
I don't necessarily agree with that in the sense that you are still an artist there, and the reason for it is because otherwise, how are you dealing with commissions at the show?
Well, that's true. Yeah,
but you still have to be the creative element.
Yeah.
But yes, you have to add to that.
You gotta
the
be that
salesman
salesperson.
hat. You have
Because
to add to that sales.
Yeah, without that sales pitch, you don't get that commission.
Yeah.
Without that sales pitch, you don't sell the prints or the books or whatever. This weekend, I'm going to be in Laughlin, and I'm going to be competing with the Heat. I'm DJing out in Laughlin at Edgewater Casino. So if you're in the middle of the desert doing absolutely nothing, drive out for an hour and come see me.
So yeah, I guess that's it.
Very cool.
How about you? You got anything planned this weekend besides the shows? I mean, you're gonna be up in New York, but do you actually go out and do things when you're in New York?
Only dinners, right?
Like dinners, right? Like where do you go to eat?
Well,
What's your favorite place to go in New York? Let me ask you that.
okay, my
dog.
favorite. I'd have to say one of my favorite places is Cat's Deli.
Oh yeah.
Cat's Deli. That's one of my favorite places to
Now,
go.
I know there's one here at the Mirage. Have you
That's
tried
not the
it?
same though.
I've never tried it either, so I don't know.
There is nothing like the Cat's Deli in New York.
Okay.
Honestly, I think it's the dirty water that they use. It's the New York water.
The New York
That
water.
right out of the Hudson.
It is old school deli.
Yeah.
But the way they do things, because it's so popular. You walk in, you end up getting a little ticket that has a number on it, and so it's Cat's Deli is Cat's Deli. As far as other places, I'm sure there are other things. It's funny because normally, and he'll tell you this, normally when we are at a show in the New York area, we're staying across the river in New Jersey over by the Meadowlands.
Yeah.
And so one of our usual
Rutherford.
places that we'll hit will be Chili's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Free knows how. Free.
Do they still have the 2 for 22?
You know what,
2 for
Free? I gotta
25.
tell you.
25.
In all honesty, you don't look too bad for someone who eats 2 meals at one time.
Yep.
He orders the 2 for 20 and eats both. It's amazing the amount of food that this kid will put down.
I'm from Hawaii. That's what we do.
But no, like I said, I have meetings that are gonna be going on. I'm gonna be spending a lot of time with John, because we're getting ready for San Diego, and then we have the Hawaii show coming up right after San Diego.
What's the Hawaii show?
The Comic-Con Honolulu.
Comic-Con, huh?
Comic-Con Honolulu.
Wait, what weekend is that?
that is Comic-Con Honolulu is the first weekend of August.
Oh, see, I'm
We have John Jr. is going to be there. We have Mark Brooks is going to be there.
Nice.
We have Tom Grummett's going to be there. I just booked Lucio Perello in there. Let me think who else. Tom DeFalco is going to be there.
Has Tom ever been to Hawaii? I don't think Tom DeFalco's ever been to a Hawaii show.
I don't think he's been to a show. And,
Yeah.
and according to Tom, when I was sitting down with him back several weeks ago, he told me, because we were talking about it, he said that this promoter's been chasing him for several years, and he finally said yes. So
So it wasn't. Shout outs to Great American Comic Con here in Las Vegas that had him out here in Las Vegas.
well,
Now they're having him out in Hawaii.
We announced this week. We announced we have Clayton Crane coming out.
Mhm.
We have Al Milgram coming out.
Oh,
We
nice.
have David McElhinney coming out.
Nice.
Wow, that's
And
gonna
so
be good.
those are just the first three that we've announced, and we will be building on that. So looking forward to more guests are going to be coming and that we'll be announcing, and ticket sales will be going live on July 1, so people can buy their tickets starting July 1. And as far as exhibitor booths or artist alley spaces, those are still available on the early bird prices.
Oh,
But
nice.
that's going to be running out. That's going to be running out real soon. So
Well, tell Faisal and Booma that I said hi and I wish I could be there. Hint, hint. Booma, bring me back.
yeah. So yeah, we'll be like I said, we'll be in Hawaii, and then the weekend after Hawaii, we'll be in Connecticut for Terrificon, and the weekend after that we'll be in New
Connecticut.
Mexico for the New Mexico Comic Expo. I think it's Comic Expo is what it's called. So that will
Going
fill up
international,
our August.
Jeez. That was just August? Oh, my goodness.
That was
Anyway.
just August.
Right.
Yes.
We're gonna have to wrap this up, guys, because
Yeah.
if we keep on going, there's gonna be like we're gonna have to have roll credits. Like,
Just
no music, just the credits, and you see challenges like and then we got
we're gonna
this.
go to this, we're gonna
this.
go to
Go to
Brazil.
desertwingcomics.com and look at our website. You'll see our schedule section, and
Boom.
you'll see everywhere we're going to be.
There it is.
Where can they go ahead and subscribe and hit notifications?
On Dovetail TV on YouTube, youtube.com/DovetailTV. Look it up. Hit the subscribe button, and then hit the like button so that you know when we drop new videos.
There you go.
Anyways, that's it for our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I'm your man JQ. This is Free.
Yo!
This is Chandler.
Yo.
This is Megan right here. Megan. Anyways, that's it for our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Peace.
What's going on, guys? It's your man JQ with Geeked Out right here on Dovetail Radio. If you want to get more content from us, better make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't know what you're missing.